Welcome back, everyone. It's Free Therapy Wednesday, and we can't have good mental health without sleep. If you're a parent, there's a good chance you spend plenty of time thinking about the sleeping habits of your kids, if no other reason than they directly affect your own.
Okay, but did you know that there are some common bedtime mistakes you could be making that can set them up for failure? Here to tell us more, our friend and child psychologist, Dr. Laura Saunders. Happy Wednesday.
Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. And yes, we are talking about sleep. And you're right, especially for parents of younger kids, the way that they sleep is critical to our sleep, because our sleep and the ability to function during the day go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. And it really is. We're learning so much about how sleep affects every system in our body. Even older kids are struggling with depression and anxiety. You've talked about sleep being so important for them. But let's start with daylight savings time. This kind of can highlight, if you're struggling at home, it really puts the spotlight on problems that might already exist.
Yeah.
Right. You'd be surprised at how much an hour, shifting things an hour, really does kind of upset your circadian rhythms. And, there's a lot to be said for sunlight and being out during sunlight. But yes, the two most common mistakes that parents make that create bigger sleep problems for their children are staying with their child until they are completely asleep and granting too many requests after lights out. I want a glass of water. I need you to fix my blankets. It's too hot in here. It's too cold in here. The light's not right. The door is not open. Granting too many requests.
Okay, so how do you know that too many is actually too many? Is it like one and done? Then figure it out on your own?
When your child's stalling, right? And I do like to have some empathy, because people need to realize that going to sleep is not a switching of flipping a switch. See, I didn't get enough sleep myself. It's not flipping a switch. It is a series of behaviors that lead you into more restful sleep. So children need to learn those behaviors in order to get better quality sleep. And you really do want those behaviors to be more of the independent type as opposed to the dependent type. I need a water. I need another blanket. I need this. I need that. I need this.
For little babies, I remember from doing Kara's Cures and all, I had the advantage of talking to experts like yourself, and it was so hard, but they talked about how important routine is, even as a baby, right? The bath, the bottle, and then go to bed. And then that when you're not going and they might be fussing or they're really upset, if you tell yourself you're teaching them a skill, just like math, they have to learn how to go to sleep on their own. So I would set a timer. And a lot of times for 7 minutes, and 7 minutes would go by and they'd already be asleep. So I guess we have to think of it that we're not hurting our kids when they're giving us some tears or some upsettedness because you want to leave the room and they need to go to sleep.
Right. And you know your child, right? Especially when some of those requests are more anxiety driven as opposed to just stalling bedtime. There are kids, and we do have more and more kids that struggle with anxiety. And so there's things that you can do. You can have a blanket or a small little thing, a little comfort object in bed. The skill that you want children to learn, it starts in infancy, is called self-soothing. And that self-soothing skill is something that we as adults need also. Teens need it, children need it, adults need it. We all need that skill of self-soothing. And that's, how do you monitor your own thoughts and ideas and feelings that pop up? And do you have to constantly, have someone else soothe them, or can you learn to soothe them yourself?
But Dr. Saunders, doesn't it go back to what they're doing, or all of us, right, doing during the day, activity level, anxiety level? Doesn't that then directly correlate to how well we're sleeping at night?
Yes. So schedules and routine are critical. Physical activity is so critical. And parents know that with young children. And they joke all the time, yeah, I need my child to run around so that they're more tired to sleep at night. That's actually true. You need that physical activity. You need to get exposure to sunlight during the day. And you need to decrease electronic exposure in the evening so that you can allow your, melatonin is the sleep hormone that naturally occurs in your body. We need melatonin to come over us when it starts to get dark. We are diurnal creatures. We need to be up when it's light and asleep when it's dark.
Right. We're going to talk more about this on Kara's Cures and maybe even get into, is it okay? Some parents are using melatonin and talk about this, but how important it is. So can we lay down with them? Final thought.
So
Just for a little bit?
It depends. Isn't that my answer to everything? It depends.
Okay.
So you can do things for short periods of time, but you also don't want that to be a crutch. You want to, it might be that, this week we're going to lay down for 5 minutes together.
Okay.
But you also want to exit the room when they're still awake and not have them be dependent on your presence in order to fall asleep.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. The crutch, that's the key, right?
We can't be the crutch. Okay.
Dr. Saunders, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dr. Saunders. And
Have a great day.
You too. I'll see you a little bit.